I'll try to take you along because I'm trying to make it as easy for people to understand, because this has taken me 20 years and I'm trying to tell people what have happened in just a couple hours. Okay, so when FERPA changed, okay, Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, because of President Obama's executive order, I had been, of course, writing these different articles about how privacy was dead in the United States because of what had happened. So I had been contacted by a few people in Pennsylvania that said, explain to me what this FERPA is all about, because a couple legislators in Pennsylvania had written a bill saying that they were going to protect the privacy of Pennsylvania children by implementing.
I sure would like to know why this keeps happening. We're going to get through this no matter how many interruptions we have on whatever level they're being visited upon us.
The executive order is, the number is 12866 if anyone wants to look it up. We have the executive order. So this executive order allowed the National Center of Education Statistics, okay, that's your data collection agenda per a group in Washington, D.C., to give this grant to every state. Okay, so I'm having this meeting with these representatives in Harrisburg, and I tell them that this isn't personal, but let me show you why your bill is so bad. And I walked them through all of the guidelines in FERPA and how it was changed, and showed them how personally identifiable information was being given out for free to all these outside contractors to create curriculum, to do whatever, okay? Now we have a business, we have a wealth management business here in south of Pittsburgh. And if we want to do marketing and we want to buy a list, you know how expensive that is, okay? Sure. These groups are getting this data for free, okay? So I had written a prototype of a letter of what to ask for, because I had all the templates, and I have all the templates for many other states also, of what they call their written agreements that allow them to give away personally identifiable information to these third-party vendors. And he says to me, are you going to write the letter? And I said, no, you are. So he did agree. He agreed to write the letter. He had 6 other representatives put their name on it. We requested all of these contracts. He received them. And what was interesting, he said to me, what if we request all this information and we just get milquetoast? And I said, trust me, the whole room is going to be filled with documents. Okay, so he calls me. He got the letter back from the Secretary of Ed. All of the documents were given to him on a flash drive. There was so many documents, they had to put it on a flash drive to give it to him. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, 1 week later, this representative just kind of disappeared, okay? Would not talk to us, would not give us the information, would not do anything. He would not answer our calls, nothing, okay? So we had to go an alternate route. I was determined I was going to get these contracts. We had the letter that said who the contracts were with, but we needed the actual documentation. So then we decided to go to the chairman of the Senate Education Committee, and this is so much fun, okay? Because they really don't know what they're doing, okay? Most of these representatives don't know what they're doing, okay?
I agree with you.
He requests the information. We get the flash drive. Well, it took me about 2 months to go through all of the information. When I gathered all the information, we set up a meeting in his office, which was at October 20th of just this past year. So we set up this meeting. We had other representatives. We had his aide. We had someone from the governor's office. We had several different parents in our group. When I arrived, I, of course, always have an agenda printed out of how I want to explain what all the documents are and the contracts. And the senator's aide was very surprised that I wanted control of the meeting. And of course, I did control the meeting. And I went through these documents with the governor's aide also being there. When I had exposed these documents, it's absolutely stunning what we had found in all of the contracts in Pennsylvania. The first thing that we found was this entire grant was to connect all the workforce data. It connects all the adults. It connects post-secondary children in college and community colleges. It links kindergarten. It links Head Start. It links Early Learning Network. It also implements a data use policy for other people to access personally identifiable information. So page by page, and this is what the grant looked like. Okay, whoops, where am I? Here it is. This is what the grant looked like. And those are the numbers.
Connects with the NCES data standards, National Center for Education
Statistics grant.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I showed them. The data system had to have remember when I said the standardization? Okay. This document says this is the vision for the state longitudinal study. They have to have the National Center of Education Statistics data elements, so all of the data collection is exactly the same. So if you're giving this same grant to every state in the United States, what does that mean? This is a national database that monitors the exact same thing in every state. So I went through that. It also says, and I'm quoting, our vision, and in Pennsylvania it's called the Pennsylvania Information Management System. So they call it something different in every state, but it's the data collection. Our vision is that this data collection is to become a critical tool to improve education and workforce outcomes for all Commonwealth children, for a, quote, womb to workplace information data system. It says that they started out with race to the top money, okay? $4.35 billion was given to education from the Recovery Act. And this is the money that was used to create these data systems, a longitudinal data system in every state in the entire country, the entire state.
Can we get a list of the people who received these grants?
Yeah, I can send that to you.
That'd be great.
That was my Christmas gift. That was my Christmas gift to the nation.
Excellent.
In December. I gave everyone the link to their grant so that they could look to see how their state created a unique national ID. And that was on page, I think it's 18 of the grant, that says Pennsylvania will lead a collaborative effort to establish a national ID for every student. Not my words, their words.
Let me ask you this, just
okay.
You and I sense this.
Well, the national ID of what, like I said before, it's a psychometric data collection. Okay, so the problem is it's a decision-making project.
Protocol,
okay?
Yeah.
It's a decision. Now we have all of this information on you. Okay, let's say your child's in second grade and they say your child has aggressive behavior because she kicked someone out on the playground. Okay, this is your decision-making model. Now they would target your child to go into what they call intervention services, and they call it positive behavior intervention and support, or they'll call it specialized support services for students, or they'll call it response to intervention. Okay, all of these are the mental health agendas. Now, if you can't say no, You cannot say no. Okay, this is the problem. What if they get to a point where they say that they can identify aggressive behavior when your child is born? And has aggressive behavior, we have to implement these drugs.
Yeah, it dovetails nicely into the
And what
designer
if you
babies.
disagree? Okay, so it's the government objectives of what they want. And do parents have the right to say no? What happens in the future? I mean, I can't tell people what are going to happen in the future. What I can show them is what they are collecting, what the objectives are in mental health, what they will do in the end 5-10 years from now. I can't tell you, but I can tell you that they're collecting biometric data. I can tell you that this is a decision-making model. And okay, so they already have the 3rd grade guarantee in many states, okay? Your child cannot move on beyond 3rd grade without meeting the criteria for Common Core. So what do you do as a parent? You're going to go get a tutor, right?
Yeah, this is absolutely extraordinary.